To live life, you need problems.
That's so stupid!
If you get everything you want the minute you want it, what's the point of living?
Ain't that something to live by? And all of this came from a cartoon. So, the thing that is really like important to me when I talk about this is the fact that I feel like this realization is so obvious, but so not obvious at the same time. And I feel like it's important for me to start this whole yap session off by talking about one word in particular, and it's called Sonder. And in case if you don't know what Sonder is, it is a word that means the realization that somebody has when everybody around them has a life just as colorful, happy, stressful as yours. Everybody's going through their own thing. Everybody has their own life to live. And realizing that is Sonder. And I think it's important for me to talk about that first and kind of define that before I talk about what Jake said. Because there are a lot of experiences that people have that are unique to themselves. But one of the things that everybody has, no matter what, whether it's right now, in the future, in the past, is that everybody has problems. Always. Always, 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 they have problems. And I think as we grow older, it is really important for us to learn how to address these problems. For some people, they might run away from it. For some people, they might solve it immediately. And for some people, they might do something that I can't even think of right now. But the point is, there's a lot of different ways that people can respond to problems. And in my situation, I think it is important for me to acknowledge what I did, because admittedly, my poor choices back then when I was younger, God, I sound old. I'm still in my 20s, by the way, is that, my mid-20s, I'm not old, is that I made the wrong choice in responding to my problems, and it cost me a few years of my life when I was like 18 and 19, and it was very tough. So just a little bit about me. I'm not going to give you guys my whole life story. I had a lot of fears growing up because I had this big expectation that I wanted my life to be perfect. The perfect physique, the perfect looks, the perfect amount of money, perfect everything. Crazy. And I know for a fact that's not possible now, but it's crazy to even realize that back then I could not acknowledge that myself. And some of the fears that I had and some of the problems that I had was fear-based. A lot of it was, back then I wanted to be a lawyer, but I was scared that being a lawyer would take over my life and I wouldn't be happy with that job. What if I pick a career that doesn't make me happy? What if I make this life decision that is going to screw me over later in life and I can't change it? What if this? What if that? What if I'm not good enough to be around my friends? What if I'm not good enough to be a good son? All those things were running through my mind and it stunted me. I was frozen. Kind of like a deer in headlights. And I made the decision to not address those problems and essentially just drift. Under the excuse that I was quote unquote figuring out life. And because I was lying to myself, I basically did nothing. And it was tough. When I sat down one day and I realized that I have not done anything. And I want to talk about my moment when I watched this clip of Jake the dog saying, to live life, you need problems. I thought every step of my growth process needed to be planned. It needed to be executable. It needed to be perfect. And gosh, I sound so foolish just talking about how I thought back then. But that's how I thought back then. And it was crazy. It was stupid of me. It was just sad. Now, as some of you may know, I want to try content creation, streaming, YouTube, and I want to do it very seriously, right? I want to give it a genuine good ass effort. And I still have fears. And some of those fears are, what if I'm not entertaining enough? What if people don't want to watch me? What if people don't care? What if I just fail miserably and then this is just an embarrassing moment in my life where I had this crazy dream of being a YouTuber, right? But since I'm older, I took those problems, those fears, and I told myself, you need to relax. Because these aren't just problems. These are excuses to not try. That's what it is. I'm giving myself a whole bunch of reasons. Oh, I shouldn't do this. I shouldn't do that because, oh, it's probably going to fail. Nobody's going to like me. Who cares? Just focus on yourself and things should be okay. That's not to say don't figure out best ways to be a better streamer. Don't find ways to improve your content. But thinking about all these problems doesn't really do a whole lot of good for you. So what I'm saying is, fuck it. Just go. Having problems, I think, means that you're trying. That's what I learned from Jake the dog. You need to try. And one of the telltale ways to know if you're trying is to see if you are running into problems. It could be anything. I think problems exist for the sole purpose of improving people. You know, we can take really small problems, like let's say you're hungry. Being hungry is a problem. Not a catastrophic one, but it is a problem. And what do? Do we as people start freaking out and going, oh my god, what if I can't find the right food to eat? What if I can't find the most satisfying meal to eat? What if somebody judges me for eating this certain food? Do you see how weird that sounds? Just eat something. Anything. A banana, a soup. Go to Chipotle. Just do anything. Just eat something. If we're thirsty, just go drink something. If we want to go hang out with somebody, we reach out to them and say, hey, let's go do something. These are all problems that we have. But for some reason, when we think of them in terms of goals, suddenly we just want to shut ourselves down. Because it's big, it's ambitious. And then we just don't even try, or we don't put forth our best effort. And I think that is partially because we see our problems as excuses when we shouldn't do that. I mean, that really is the gist of it. If you're trying, you're gonna run into problems. That means you're trying to improve. If you're trying to improve yourself, let's say you want to lose weight, you're gonna run into problems. You want to eat something tasty and juicy with a lot of carbs in it, but you know that's not good for you, so you're not going to eat it. That's a problem. It doesn't make you feel good. It makes you uncomfortable. And then on another side, maybe you want to improve your skincare, but you don't want to, spend a whole lot of money. Or actually, no, that's a very stupid example. Like, let's say you want to work on being more social, but you're scared of being judged by a lot of people when you go outside to try to talk to people. Okay. They reject you, you move on. Easier said than done, but I mean, come on. At the end of the day, the point of it all is just try. Put forth your best effort. If it fails, okay. At the very least, you can walk away knowing that you tried and you put forth your best foot. What did I just say there? You put your best foot forward. And all the problems that you had along the way are just learning lessons. Think about it like that. Address those problems. If you succeed, fantastic. Give yourself a pat on the back. If you fail, it is a learning lesson. And you can find satisfaction in knowing that you put forth 100%. Isn't that nice? The satisfaction of you yourself knowing, hey, I tried, man. I really tried. There's a certain satisfaction in that. And I hope I can experience that regardless of how streaming turns out. And I think that's how you people should look at it too. I encourage you guys to look at it. Whatever problems you may be going through right now. I don't know what your problems are. I don't know how tough it is. But hopefully just very slightly, if applicable, maybe see it as an opportunity to improve yourself. If not, well, I hope you've, get through it and everything settles down as well as possible. But if this is like a self-improvement thing, or if this is something that you could learn from and apply to yourself, I hope you do that instead of being a fool like me and just running away from all of your problems. So yeah, remember what Jake the dog said. To live life, you need problems. Words to live by. Or words to just think about every now and then when you're going through something tough. But that's it. I'll be back tomorrow with something else. Gotta keep myself accountable. If I have nothing to talk about, I'll just talk about how I had nothing to talk about or whatever. Alright? Thanks, folks. Bye-bye.